Hello, my friends, and welcome to this week's energy update for July 4th through to the 11th. We have some beautiful energetic themes for this week ahead that we're moving into as we swiftly go full force into Cancer season. I hope all of you have been doing okay. I know it's been very tumultuous thus far for a lot of us, and I'm just sending you all a lot of love and light because I know the past week has been hard. It's been definitely difficult, and I feel like a lot of us have been trying to navigate these strong emotional themes. So I'm sending you lots of love and big hugs, hoping you all are doing okay. So for this week, we have some really cool themes that I have been able to collect through the help of my guides, and I'm really excited to go into them for us today. So the first theme that we have is this collective gathering together, reinforcing soul connections and further growth, reshaping family ties that work for us, broadening our perspectives, coming out of grief to see the light, rediscovering courage and voice, allowing the new version of self to present and emerge, a high emphasis on the throat chakra this week, releasing negative ties and anger, resentment, judgment, which lead to then forgiveness, self-reflection, care, compassion, removing oneself from solitude, refreshed and enlightened, therapeutic care, learning to better care and respect the human body and embrace physical existence with fresh perspectives, and body talk. So we have a really cool week ahead for us, and moving into that first theme, there was a lot about this giving and receiving in balance and coming to this beautiful equilibrium and harmony within our connections with others this week. So a lot of us have been hibernating, myself included, the past few weeks because of such strong emotional themes and energies that a lot of us who are more energetically sensitive have been really feeling and been finding quite overwhelming. And so if you are like me in that respect, I feel like this week we're finally emerging from our cave. We're starting to come out back into the world. And with that, we're truly coming back together with these connections in our lives. And with that, we are going to be learning so much this week from that, because I feel like this solitude that we've been in has been so wonderful on so many levels, with helping us dig deep, dig into our personal energies, dig into our personal ego stories, and liberate ourselves. But yet when we're with others, we learn so much as well. And so I feel like after this introspective time of really going inward, we're now being called to really go into our connections once more, really gather together. And we're bringing back this enforcement of unity is kind of what I'm feeling. So now that we've kind of reinforced who we are, where we stand, what we're going through, and our new versions of self are feeling more grounded, it's like we're now getting to test the waters with this new version of self. How are we doing when faced with other connections? Are we feeling connected? Are we feeling like we need to maybe enforce some new boundaries? Are we needing to course correct when it comes to our relationships? And what jewels are there to be found through mirroring of others? So when we're really bothered by someone, are we taking that time to really go into what that truly means? Where are we doing this to ourselves? How can we implement the mirroring? And I'm really getting this highlight on that giving and receiving in balance. So really being mindful and observatory this week where we might be overextending, or where we need to put in these fresh boundaries, where it's like, okay, I can see that I'm overextending myself here, and it's time to wheel myself back in. It's time to maybe speak up and let people know, okay, you know what, I would love to do this for you, but I need to put a boundary in place. And really being loving in that way that we're going and viewing these connections, because we're truly seeing how we view ourselves And as we've grown into this new version of self, how we might have in the past sacrificed ourselves or given too much, or perhaps where we haven't given enough. And we're getting this equilibrium that's really coming in this week to help us come to more of this balanced mentality and balanced way of being when around other connections and with our friend group, our soul group. And I'm also hearing this gathering together is very much this support system as well this week. So where are we needing to call in support? Where are we needing to reach out to others around us? Who are we truly feeling connected with now on a soul level? And are we making the effort to reach out and build those connections? Because when we think of that Cancerian energy, it's so much about family, it's so much about nurturing, and that's what I'm seeing highlighted this week, is really nourishing and nurturing those connections that really build us up. I'm also seeing some new connections coming in where it's like, oh, I didn't realize I felt so strongly towards this person, or I'm feeling drawn to this practitioner, or whatever the case might be. And I'm really hearing that to welcome in new connections, even though we've been in this hibernation mode. Open up your heart, be willing to see new perspectives, and work together at supporting each other throughout this time, okay? So I'm really hearing that. This is also dipping into our family ties and dynamic. And what I really kept getting the past 2 weeks is we're reshaping, we're rediscovering what family truly means. And like I've said previously, sometimes when we view family, we have such a programmed way of approaching what family needs to be, what family looks like. And a lot of us are unlearning that program and rediscovering what family truly means to us on that personal level. Maybe it is purely those soul connections. Maybe it's more than just blood relation. And we're really redeveloping that structure in our lives and what works for us. You know, once again, are we holding on to a story that says things need to look like this? Things need to be like this in my family structure, or go according to this plan or timeline that I have envisioned in my own mind, or others have influenced and said it needs to be. And I'm seeing us once again taking this step back and getting very observatory and going, okay, what really is important to me? Is it just the label, or what does family really mean to me? And what is working for me? So once again, we're approaching this dynamic now with who we are now. So if we've been doing that inner work and we've been really liberating ourselves from these stories that we've been holding, and that's what we're really going to be doing further into this month of July as well, we're beginning to see what we no longer want. And with that, recognition of what we do want. So what is now working for you? What will work for you now when we build this foundation on this strength, this worthiness that we are beginning to recognize within ourselves? What am I settling on still, and what do I need to reshape and redefine within my family unit? Based upon the evidence of who I am now and who I am becoming. And really seeing the worthiness aspect in this, because I'm really hearing a lot of us still are feeling this energy of shame, this burden of shame that I need to fulfill this role, or I need to be this for my family, or to gain my family approval or partner's approval. Whatever that story is, I'm just really getting shown this shame heavily, like a weighted blanket, heavy over our shoulders. And it's time to liberate ourselves of those stories this week. So I'm really seeing this reshaping and redefining of these roles. We're also going into this general broadening of our perspective. So perhaps we're going to be illuminated this week to where we've been inflexible, where we haven't been allowing our minds to broaden to other perspectives or other possibilities, or seeing things from a different lens or viewpoint. And I'm really beginning to see this taper into the grief component, because like I've been talking about for weeks now, sometimes we've been called the past few weeks to grieve, to be in that sadness, to be in what was lost to us in our lives, and really grieve those things and really validate our human story. Because like, especially in this recent podcast that I just put out, the Strength and Vulnerability, I talk a lot about what does it mean to actually be human, and really embracing the broad spectrum of emotions that we as human beings feel and what we've experienced in our life thus far. Because we tend to have this need to make everything sunshine and rainbows when it comes to spirituality, but really real spirituality and really doing the work requires us to go into our shadows, requires us to dive deeper into parts of ourselves that sometimes we feel are unflattering. We don't want to necessarily embrace those energies, but that is exactly what we've been called to do. And it's like really liberating ourselves and really validating what we've come through, what we've gone through in life, and going, you know what? Yeah, that actually did suck. You know what? Yeah, I actually needed this. And it's like validating the human story and not covering that with shame or guilt because you felt those ways, because you've been angry, because you've had perhaps unglorified emotions that this world has specified are not right for us to feel, or where we've judged those emotions. And we're liberating those stories this week big time. And I'm seeing us really going into that and going, okay, I'm going to feel what I need to feel, and then I'm coming out of this now. So that's what I'm seeing, this shift happen this week, where it's like we really feel the emotions. We've already done so much in that the past few weeks, and I'm seeing us now stepping out of this grief phase, coming to this light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what I'm really seeing, is this illumination that's coming. And so it's like, don't worry. Yes, it's been a tough few weeks, but we're moving and shifting into this element of gratitude for it, because of how we have learned, how we have grown, how we've been able to shed those old versions of selves, those stories that have held us in this element of shame. And we're coming to this place of true closure in this. Is that's what I'm kind of hearing. It's like this closing off the chapter. And yes, there's still going to be things to heal and work through this month, but I'm really getting this energy of this grief aspect we are really working with. And we're stepping into the light now, where it's like, okay, I'm not overwhelmed by it. I can see the end of the tunnel. I can have gratitude for this experience. And it's like, even just finding one thing that I'm grateful for in this time will help me and work like that healing balm that will help liberate me and help me move forward and give me that courage and optimism. Because once again, I'm seeing this emotional sensitivity happening. I'm seeing us get triggered this week. I'm seeing us have these highs and lows that are going to be around for a little while. And it's helping us push past the ego stories. But throughout this, we need to keep our faith and optimism. We need to embrace the emotional roller coaster. We need to allow ourselves to surrender to this process and give our worries and concerns to God, to the universe. And that's where I'm seeing this rediscovering of courage and voice come in, because we're starting to once more allow this new version of self to present, and we're beginning to let this new version emerge into our daily life. So we had this theme of choice and decision last week that is still coming in and playing a large role this week. And it's this choice that I'm really seeing come forward for us, where it's like we need to choose ourselves. And when we do, we find this courage and newfound strength. So it's like, choose yourself and be unwavering. Speak your truth, set boundaries, stand your ground in who you are now. And I'm just seeing you do this in such a loving way this week. So a lot of us are rediscovering this courage. We're finding our power, we're finding our voice, and we're really coming into this callback of personal power. We're releasing cords to things, to thoughts, to beliefs, to people, whatever that is for you. We're releasing those things so we can truly be in our personal power. And it's really beautiful because I'm really seeing us using our voices this week. And that is the advice that is coming through. It's like, no matter what, stick to who you are. Choose consciously to choose yourself every single day. And I'm just seeing this moment of pride and celebration that takes place as you embrace this new chapter of your life, this fresh slate, where it's like, you know what? Yeah, in the past, I wouldn't speak up. In the past, I wouldn't say anything. In the past, I would stay small, but I'm not choosing that anymore. And we're finding this inner strength this week that wants to come roaring out. And we're beginning to consciously choose each day and how we view it. We're choosing to find the beauty. We're choosing to find the gift, choosing to find gratitude in every single day, despite what is happening, despite the heaviness or overwhelm. And that's the beauty of this week that we're receiving, is this advice, like, cling to faith, cling to that optimism. We are going to get through this time. And even if we are feeling those strong emotions, take it as this beautiful validation that you are a sensitive soul. And with that sensitivity, you are so strong. You are so highly intuitive and empathic. And this is a gift that we are being called to embrace, to feel our emotions, to feel how we feel. And with that, we're removing the guise that everything's okay. Because in this human experience, sometimes we're not okay. And that's okay. And that's what I'm really seeing come to the fore this week, is we're cleansing away these stories that said, I need to pretend, I need to keep things together. No, it's okay to break down. It's okay to voice how you feel. And with that, this liberation comes because you're revealing who you really are. And it's absolutely beautiful. What I'm seeing here is this true stance in your power. And this is so celebrated this week. Your guides are literally dancing. That's what I'm seeing. They're like, yay. There's just so much pride and joy in this. It's like, yay, you did it. You're totally claiming your power. You're claiming your voice. So don't be surprised if things come up this week where we're challenged a little bit to get uncomfortable or to speak out or let this new self present. But that is the encouragement. Do it. Push through. You've got this. You are meant to be shared. So how beautiful is that? So next theme, we have this releasing of negative ties and anger, resentment, judgment, which leads to forgiveness. So with this strong theme, once more, we're seeing this emotional sensitivity present. So where we need to let go of any residual anger, any residual resentments or judgments that we have towards ourselves or others. Like, what are we still holding anger around? And really being honest in this. That's what I'm really kind of hearing. It's like, let's get honest, let's get real, let's take responsibility this week and go, okay, you know what? I'm going to remove the shame from anger and I'm going to embrace it and go, yeah, you know what? I am angry. I am feeling resentment about this. I don't want to feel stuck. I don't want to be in this space, or I don't want to take this treatment, or from the past, where am I still harvesting this resentment and judgment? Okay. And it's this real liberation of really seeing that it's okay to feel this way. And that's exactly what I'm hearing from my guides. It's like, It's okay to admit you're angry and to remove that negative connotation from it. And that really goes in with this release of negative ties. So where have we been judging how we feel? Where have we been judging this negativity that we feel at times? And how can we dismiss that shame that we're putting? And how can we let go of these resentments we feel? And I'm hearing some of us even have this resentment with the universe right now. And to know that that's okay. Once again, this is your human experience. This is a human emotion we feel. And it's okay to admit that perhaps we're angry. Maybe we're angry with the old version of God that we used to believe in that made us feel punished or made us feel like we needed to suffer. Maybe that story is still clinging on in your life. And it's redefining now, what God do I believe in? What universe do I want to put faith in? What resonates with me now? And I'm seeing some of us hold on to this resentment of, when is it going to be my turn to embrace the life of my dreams? Why did I have to let go of dreams of the past that I really wanted? Or when is it going to be okay for me to have the things I want? And I'm just seeing this like frustration that's boiling here, where it's like, when universe am I going to be good enough? When universe am I going to be able to come out of this emotional time and feel empowered and have the life I want? But it's coming to this element of forgiving this dictator authority aspect in life that's really not the truth. And I'm really seeing this, like, take what resonates for you here, but I'm just getting this strong message of some of us holding on to this perspective of God and this perspective of the universe. And we're needing to heal that now, where it's like, no, the universe isn't forcing anything on us. It's not withholding from us. It wants to love us. It wants to nourish us. It wants to support us. And I'm just hearing we've gathered all the evidence against this. And it's like, now let's forgive that version of God. Let's forgive ourselves. Let's forgive where we need to forgive and let go of this resentment and judgment that perhaps we're feeling the universe is placing upon us, because that's not the truth. And I'm seeing us once again redefine our perspectives of God and the universe and where we've come from into who we are now. Also, this element of forgiving others this week. So I'm seeing a lot of us come in with this theme and story of these connections we have in life, family, friends. Maybe we're still holding on to hurts, or maybe we've been triggered by people this week because of this emotional high and sensitivity. And I'm just hearing like, this is what we're working through this week, is recognizing our humanness, recognizing we are all just trying to do our best in this time, and that we're all healing. So removing the need to gossip, removing the need to speak negatively or tear others down, and just getting honest that we're angry about it, we feel resentful, and allowing ourselves to really remove that element of judgment. So I also wrote as a side theme here, approaching triggers with grace and self-reflection, care, and compassion. So with this, it's like when we're triggered by others, when we're triggered by anger as an example, or anything that triggers us this week, we're approaching it now with this new version of self, with this new perspective of going, oh, okay, I'm triggered right now. What am I learning? What am I healing from? What emotion is coming up for healing? And it's like, once again, removing the judgment. If you're angry, you're angry. If you're resentful, you're resentful. If you're judging, you're judging, and that's okay. And once again, just letting yourself be human, okay? This week, that is so important. And it's like going in and then reflecting and going with this compassion that we so eagerly give to others, we're being encouraged to give to ourselves. Oh, I'm angry because I'm hurt. And it's like really taking the time to go into what you actually feel, because we know anger really is this supplement to hurt. It's this cover up of hurt, if you will. So when that anger flares, it's like, ask yourself, oh, where am I hurting? Where do I need to forgive others? Where do I need to forgive myself? And really broadening our perspectives of forgiveness, because sometimes forgiveness is just coming to a state of letting go of the story, letting go of guilt, letting go of blame, and coming to an acceptance. It doesn't mean we condone what others have done, but we can kickstart the healing process by surrendering that judgment, by surrendering the hurt. And it's really this beautiful gift that we give ourselves when we do that. And we're really being encouraged not to stoop to negativity and gossip or speaking illy of others this week. We're really being called to take the higher road in that and to recognize that this is all happening for us. Okay, so if you're triggered, move into that grace. How can I care for myself right now? How can I extend more compassion as I go through these heavy emotions? How can I start getting a better understanding of what I'm actually feeling? And this is foreign for a lot of us. I've talked about this a lot. This might be completely new for you to actually take care of yourself, to actually validate your emotions. A lot of us have never learned to properly do this. So it's like, give yourself that care, give yourself patience this week. And remember, when you have things that you just cannot let go of, create a God box, write what you need down, give it to God, put it in a special box where you go, okay, God, I'm giving this to you. Okay, universe, I'm giving this to you to handle for me. This is too overwhelming for me right now, so I'm giving it to you. And your guides will gladly help you with this. So it's like, really do what you need to do. Do those ceremonies, do those things this week that make you let go, that help you throughout this process. And once again, we have this huge highlight, self-care, self-care. Really look after you and don't try to rush the process. So once again, we have this element of slow down, this pause. Take pause before you react. Pause and really listen to everything that's happening within. So important. So then we had this next theme of removing oneself from solitude, refreshed and enlightened. So I feel like the end of the week, we're really getting this knowledge of ourselves. And we're coming out of this period of solitude and coming out into this light at the end of the tunnel. We're feeling more refreshed, we're feeling more enlightened, and it's almost this joy that happens when we go through this healing period, because we're like, oh my gosh, wow, that was so needed. I needed to understand this about myself. I needed to learn from my emotions. I needed to commit to me. I needed this time of introspection. And I'm seeing us come into this element of gratitude for everything we've come through. And we're coming out the other end with sincere relationships. That's what I'm really seeing come in strongly. It's like this week we're getting big insights into our relationships, and it's illuminating. It's like, oh wow, I'm really seeing who is in my corner. I'm really seeing who is genuine, who is sincere, who would be there for me, and where I can have this giving and receiving in balance, this harmony. And we're getting this enlightenment that's very joyous. So from there, we have therapeutic care. We're really getting this highlight this week to focus on our physical bodies. We're having big change as we quickly release these emotions. We're beginning to understand how they've all coincided with our physical illness, our physical manifestations of things, our hurts, our aches, our pains. And we're really bringing this awareness this week to our physical selves and how everything truly is connected. So I'm seeing us take steps of therapeutic care, so looking after our bodies in whatever way feels right for you. Specifically, I got the message of a chiropractor. So those of you who are needing an adjustment, that is coming through for a few of you. Go and get aligned, okay? Which is so funny because that's really dead on for what we're going through. We're aligning again with our true selves. We're aligning with our emotions. We're embracing these new things. So where we're needing course corrections, where we're needing corrections in our physical selves as well. Don't be afraid to splurge and look after you, okay? So I'm seeing chiropractors, I'm seeing practitioners, I'm seeing wellness really being highlighted this week. So really welcome in that care and advice. And I'm hearing specifically be open to taking advice. Even if it's not what you want to hear, it could be what you need. So I'm just definitely seeing that. Don't let money get in the way of looking after yourself and your needs, okay? So self-care, really, really big. We're also getting this emphasis on cleansing and detoxifying. So eating healthy this week is big, high nutrition. Releasing bad habits within eating is also highlighted. So where have you been emotionally eating? Where are you needing to take a step back and course correct? What is your body actually asking for? What nutrients are you lacking? And I'm just seeing us really go into how can I approach my physical self in a very holistic, healthy way this week. So we're being asked to look into that as well, because we've done so much into the emotions and we're needing to see this correlation on how that affects everything. Okay, so we're learning to better care and respect for the human body and embrace physical existence with fresh perspectives. So that's what I wrote for this highlight here. So embracing physical existence. So this knowledge that, okay, our physical bodies do wear out. Our physical bodies do need care and affection and love. And we tend to have this ego protection that comes in that goes, well, that's not going to happen to you. You're not going to ever have health issues. Or we tend to have this story that it will happen to everybody but ourselves. And what I'm really hearing this week is like, get the reality now and go, okay, actually, no, even if I'm really young, even if I have my health right now, what else can I do to support that earthly journey? What else can I do to support my physical body while I'm here? What can I do to prevent health issues in the future? And I'm seeing us really just dig a little deeper into what our bodies actually need and embracing the physical existence with these fresh perspectives. And once again, I'm seeing open your minds to new ways of looking after you. So they're really highlighting energy work as well this week. So where do we need to align our chakras? Where do we need to work with our chakras? Where do we need to cleanse dense energies that are harvesting into physical manifestations of illness, disease, hurt, aches, pains, you name it? And they're calling us out in a way and going, what has your body been saying? So I wrote in brackets, body talk. So this is an actual therapy that you can have done, but it's literally checking in with what hurts, what doesn't feel good, what is your body trying to say to you, speak to you through the physical form. And this also can be known as clairsentience too, because our guides often send us messengers intuitively through our physical self. So we're really getting this highlighted this week. Be mindful. What is your body saying? If you have a hurt, well, what does this mean emotionally? What emotions harvest within this chakra, within this physical area of my body? What could this mean for me? You know, as an example, when we feel tightness in the chest, or we have a cough, or we have congestion in our chest that we want to cough up, as an example, it's like, oh, okay, where have my emotions within my heart chakra been harvesting in the sense of being congested? What's been congested within my heart? Have I been seeing my worthiness? Have I been truly receiving love? Or has it been feeling all mucked up and muddy in there where I can't receive? And it's like when we want to cough something up. We want to get rid of it. So that includes our throat chakra. What needs to come out? What are we needing to speak? What are we needing to say? What do we need to get out? And it's like this understanding, this new perspective of our physical forms that are speaking to us every single day. So I'm seeing us really embrace the physical body this week and really go above and beyond to make sure that we are taking good care. And with that, we also have this movement into play, okay? So we're being encouraged, move your physical body, make time for playtime, because when we're really going through this concentration of emotion, we just as much need to play and let loose. When we play, when we come into the childlike energy, that helps us release a lot of that energy, the dense energies, the heaviness. And so that was the last thing that was really being called in with this physical aspect. Are you playing? Are you making time to be a child? Are you allowing your body to be happy, to be joyful? And it's like really focusing this week on how you can infuse your body with gratitude, with joy, and let that be that healing balm to the body as we release all the heaviness, all the denseness, all the heavy emotions that have been coming forth for release this past few weeks. So such beautiful advice. So this week, ultimately keep choosing yourselves, keep standing in your power, keep creating the reality that you want to live. And we're integrating more and more this higher self, this new version of us. We're creating more and more this fresh slate as we remove things that have made us need to hide, that have made us feel like we're needing to be shamed. We're liberating ourselves this week and facing life with courage, and the courage to speak, the courage to reveal our true selves, and choosing to be unwavering in that decision. So all in all, an absolutely amazing week ahead we have. So please reach out for the support you need this week. We do have still that theme of emotional sensitivity. So if you need guidance with this, if you need support with this, book sessions, my friends. This is really coming through that therapeutic care. So whatever that looks like for you, but I am seeing Reiki highlighted here. So if you have a local practitioner, if you feel you could resonate with me, book some Reiki, book some balancing. Let me be that support system for you. Let me be that listening ear for you if that calls. So I will leave all my information linked below for you to reach out and connect with me if that resonates. So as it stands, have a beautiful and blessed week, my friends. We have some really fun themes, and I know all of you are doing amazing. So please support each other. Let's get through this next little while and embrace this beautiful Cancer energy. Sending you all so much love and light. Bye.